It's that most wonderful time of the year, everyone, and not just because Christmas is just around the corner, but it's time for another live stream here on the Metal Roofing Academy on YouTube. While you're here, if you haven't done so yet, throw us a like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you can catch all the great content we have coming up in 2024. With that out of the way, let's introduce some of the folks we have with us around the table today. A familiar one that some of you people may have seen before, it's our CEO and founder, Rob Haddock. Rob, thanks for being here today.
Patrick, I just got to tell you, I like your hat.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a grade better than the common Santa
It's
hat,
got the
It's got a little bit more character to
but
it.
I'll never swap you.
I was hoping I could get my hands on that hat, but all right, I'll deal with what I got. Rob, thank you so much for being here. Another one that we have joining us today is Dustin Haddock. Dustin, say hello to everybody and tell them a little bit about what you do here at S5.
Hello everybody. So I don't know, when I was like 9 or 10 years old, I was chief packager
Oh, yeah.
there in the
Prestigious.
garage. I saw a picture that you posted somewhere of me as a little man, like trying to get the big boxes onto a pallet, which was kind of cool.
Definitely doing more work than Sean was doing.
Yeah, he was holding me so I didn't fall over the way of the box. But I started out early years packaging parts in the garage. Then I went school, rodeoing, came back home, was rodeoing pro a little bit, and the old man said, if you're going to get involved, now's the time. And so I got involved. I started out in marketing, which is ironic. It's more of my actual degree,
Sure.
which was communication science, right?
Sure, yeah.
But I noticed there was a little, I mean, that's back when we were, a company of 5, 6,
Or fewer.
fewer.
Just a little leaner than we are today.
Right. And I saw a hole in R&D. And
Really important position, obviously, here at S5, too, as a continuous improvement company.
Right,
R&D is kind of
exactly.
a
I mean,
important place.
I like to say R&D is the backbone of the company, because if we don't design the products, the sales guy's got nothing to sell.
We got nothing to market. Sorry.
But that's what I jumped into, was R&D, doing the testing, certifications, started working with code authorities, started working with NRTLs, nationally recognized laboratories, and found myself in a mix of muckety-mucks that make decisions as it relates to building code. And so I focused more on that, and went from R&D to, well, they're calling it business development, but I don't know what
Fancy.
it is now. But it's basically, what I do is I go into new markets,
Yeah.
identify if there's a product need. I work with the NRTLs, the code bodies, and whatnot, in terms of, like I always say, if you're not at the table, you're on the plate.
Uh-huh.
I'm making sure we're not on the plate.
Good on
And
you.
I'm making sure we don't miss an opportunity.
This is great. And I know with our expansion, obviously, into more global markets now, this is super important to be able to identify these markets and the places where we can help these people.
Exactly. I mean, we believe metal roofing is the greatest roofing platform that exists. Our products make it even better, if I might say,
Say
because
that again.
it allows you to put things on roofs without messing up the metal roof. So yeah, I mean, our big goal is to galvanize the entire world with metal roofing, because we just find that is the
Or
superior method.
Galvalume.
There you go.
Yeah,
Very apropos.
Better introduce Ricardo. We're going to be out of time.
Well, Dustin, thank you for joining us. And finally, our last guest, new to the stage here at our S5 studio, Ricardo Barroso. Tell us a little bit about what you do here and say hello to our fabulous guest.
Hello, everyone. I'm the head of engineering and research and development. What we do, I mean, we do nice things, right? We develop products, we find solutions, and we add value to our customers, right? So these are the things, I mean, the thing that we do the most here in the company, and especially in engineering and R&D.
Well, that sounds great to me, and we'll definitely be talking a lot more about R&D stuff later in our conversation here. But Ricardo, thank you so much for joining us. And, before we get into I feel like there's something I'm missing. Rob, am I missing
Patrick,
something?
you were running some kind of contest or something, a giveaway thing.
That's it.
You need to announce a winner, I think.
Well, let's unwrap this little gift we have here, and we'll get away. We're giving away two $50 Visa gift cards here today. So let's, without further ado, announce the first winner, and that is going to be Solar Joe Official on Instagram, Joe Murillo. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Solar Joe Official. You got a $50 gift card coming your way. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel, submitting your product photos that utilized S5 products. We couldn't be more happy to see those. Keep them coming, everybody, because we got more to give away this year. With that out of the way, let's talk a little bit about some of the notable things that have happened here at S5 in 2023, which was tough to narrow down because it's been a big year. But let's start out by something huge, something a long time coming. That is our new corporate office here in S5, in Black Forest, our S5 corporate office. It's been a long time in the works, and it is fantastic. I'll just say that from myself to start off. But I know this is a huge milestone. And Rob, why don't you start off? Tell us a little bit about what this represents to us as a company.
Well, you're right. It is a huge milestone, and it did take a long time because we were building it all through the COVID pandemic. And
you picked quite the time to get going.
everybody knows what that means. But it truly represents who and what we are as a company.
Yeah.
We're a family company, and that family-like familiarity extends to our staff and to our customers.
Absolutely.
So the informal, home-like atmosphere here in our new office complements and reflects our company culture.
It sure does. Absolutely.
It's down to earth yet professional. It's orderly yet comfortable. It's functional but not stuffy. And it's country but also industrial. And to bring all those elements together in one building,
it's quite a feat.
And have them harmonize with each other
Yes.
that was quite a challenge. But we've been complimented on our new facility by everyone who's been here, our staff included, but all the visitors that have been here have been very complimentary.
And even people that drive by, we get people that drive by just to show up and say that they like what we did.
And we got some of these photos showing to you guys, some of the photos of our new space, and it truly fits with our surroundings so well. I think that's something so great, is you were so passionate about founding our home here, our new home here in Black Forest, and I think it fits in the landscape and everything around us so well. I mean, I can't believe how well you guys planned that out. Bravo to you. And all of our designers, too, I should say, as well. Namely, your wife as well. She had a big hand in that.
She did indeed. The architecture really reflects the Black Forest with ponderosa log rafters and trusses.
Yeah.
An entry area. There are log walls from floor to ceiling almost. And all the interior and exterior metal and stone and wood finishes do as well. But what's more, they reflect the industry that we represent, both inside and out. We have metal finishes everywhere. There are open areas for gathering inside the building and outside the building, as well as efficient individual workspaces and temporary workspaces and a training room for periodic all-staff gatherings and all that kind of stuff. We have a stone fireplace, as you know, right in the entryway in the lobby area. And the whole place also reflects the Haddock family culture, with with antler chandeliers, a longhorn mount in the foyer area, and a buffalo mount. And we used to raise buffalo.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, there's a buffalo mount in the conference room, and Western furniture and art and other appointments throughout the facility. The place just looks and feels as much like our home as it does a business office.
It is, for a business, I don't think I've ever worked in a more cozy location. So I can say I appreciate it. So, I mean, I've been here in our studio that we're currently occupying and stuff, but it is the features now, having the actual office there is great. I gotta admit, I love having a nice espresso machine close by. I know Ricardo's got me turned on to that. Thank you so much, Ricardo. Sure. Now I can't go an afternoon without my espresso. But I mean, let's talk a little bit about what is some of your guys' favorite features of it. Rob, what's one of your favorite things that we've got that's the featured in there?
Well, I just gave you a bunch of them.
You've got a good list,
Hand
actually.
it off to one of
Dustin,
these guys.
you've got to take over now. The baton has been passed.
My favorite thing about it is, what we call the barn.
Mm-hmm. You're here.
Ever since I started, I was driving 2.5 hours up to Boulder to run a series of tests. Sometimes I would spend the week there and run the testing and then drive back. And we started testing more and more and more, so that got to be more and more. And, I mean, having our own certified lab here in the barn is huge. And then on top of that, we got a CNC machine. So when it comes to prototyping, playing around with parts, if we need to make E08 specimens for testing, it's all right there. It just needs to be programmed. I mean, sometimes we got to buy some tools we didn't realize we had to buy, but it's great. It gives us the opportunity to be more efficient, more productive.
Absolutely.
And know today if a prototype's going to work or not.
It's a crucial step in the process of developing our products. Ricardo, what about you? What's some of your favorite features here in the new office?
My favorite place was the cafeteria, right?
Oh yeah.
We go there and I mean we discuss different things and we team up, and get to know each other. But with the install of our solar panels here, right now I would say that my preferred place it is on the top of the roof.
Ricardo, that's like a natural segue because I wanted to ask us a little bit. We've installed a few of our own products. We put our money where our mouth is, and our roof features some of our own products too. So let's talk a little bit about that. Rob, I'm going to jump over to you again. We've got snow retention, we've got solar. Tell us a little bit about what we've got on our own roof.
Yeah, so our own snow retention products are featured throughout this campus on the office building as well as what we call the barn here. We feature S5 Color Guard, Next Guard 2.0, and Dual Guard. 3 of our 5 snow retention products. And they're all testaments to our disruptive technologies in snow retention. The solar array that furnishes most of the power, and Ricardo can tell you more about that, but that of course is mounted in place with S5 PV kit. Mm-hmm. And the walkways and wire chases, they're all mounted with S5 clamps.
Yeah.
And black PV modules on a black roof with black hardware. It just looks awesome, and it's a testament to our disruptive technologies and solar mounting on metal roofs.
It's so well fit, and I've heard a client of ours who'd utilized our product before feel like that S5 products on a roof, like we've done it, is like an extension of the roof. You don't even notice it. I mean, compared to traditional racking mounts and everything, it is so low profile. It feels like it's so intentional, part of the aesthetics. It looks great. And I mean, testament to you guys who helped install it. What was your, Dustin, let's start with you. What was your experience like installing the solar on the office this summer? It was a great time getting to join you guys.
Yeah, I mean, what I really appreciate about that, and I mean, working in this environment is, when we prototype something, we have the opportunity with facilities like this and to use it, to put it into practice, right?
Yeah.
So in the early days when we were dressing up the manufacturing facility with solar panels, that's when we launched our prototypes for the PV Kit 2.0.
Yes, yeah.
And the engineering team got to get up there on the roof and install it. The guys that designed it got to get up there and install it.
Why not?
kW was that? Like,
that first one was 74 kW, and the next one was 202.
Right. So 74 kW of it went on super steep roof.
Yeah.
With our PV Kit 2.0, and guess what? Before we went to full production, after that job, we're like, we can change a few things, make it better to work.
What do you know?
And the same thing happened here. We designed what we call the MLPE clip, or not clip, sorry.
Mount.
Which lets you put optimizers, micros directly on the module frame, anywhere on the module frame. And we had enough prototyped to do the job there at the office.
It was really, really opportune time to have that, because I think it really helped motivate us to be able to do our pre-assembly and everything of our parts so much simpler.
And get the confidence
Yeah.
on, okay, we're going to go to full production. Do we have everything right?
Yeah.
Now, not a lot of people know this, but the patent attorney does. We tweak the design a little bit. So that works even better.
Sure.
Just based on, putting all those modules on the roof, saying, hey, get enough experience with it. And so that's what I really love about it, is we have the opportunity, because we're engulfed in metal,
Oh, yeah.
that we get to test our products, not just in a laboratory, but out in the field.
That real world setting really helps so much to know, because you can test as much as possible, but to actually be there in the same way that our customers are going to be dealing with it and finding how easy it helps. I mean, I know that you guys have spent your years growing up before this, even before S5 even started, working in metal roofing. So you guys are so much in tune with making things easier for our customers, because you've been there before too. And I think that's a real testament to the way we develop our products.
Well, yes and no. I mean, that was mostly
Sure.
him. Where Sean and I, my older brother,
Yeah.
grew up installing one of our snow retention systems.
Sure.
But as a kid, installing that snow retention system, it really helped, because I can talk to somebody on the phone when I was working, the tech line here at S5.
Yeah.
And I've installed hundreds of lineal feet, not miles, but I was still in college.
Still plenty. Nothing that's...
But I had enough experience to where I didn't feel like I could relate to the customer.
Yep.
I'd installed enough of it myself. I knew exactly what they were coming up against or whatever it was, and it helped me. It helped me astronomically be able to speak to the customer.
Yep.
And also come up with, okay, well, if we tweak this, if we change this,
And Ricardo, I know that obviously when you're installing a solar array, and especially incorporating MLPs like we did with microinverters, you really want to keep your wiring plan solid, because that's a huge thing about making sure it's good. Did that help you out at all then with keeping our wiring diagrams and everything straight?
Definitely.
Great.
I mean, the wire management was something that we designed beforehand, and we optimized that, and the MLP mount was a part of this.
Absolutely. Great.
The importance of this is that that part just allow us and support us in our rail-less installation, right?
Absolutely.
So it is much easier, it's much faster, because you do not need to have rails anymore to attach your microinverters, right? So that installation of our PV arrays here, it was using the best practice in this industry, right?
Without a doubt.
From the design point of view to the alignment of the modules point of view, for the wire management point of view, and like Rob said, when you see the aesthetic, that it is also important for a project like that.
Absolutely.
It is a seamless installation, right? And it is a seamless, array. So you can go, in our aerial view, and it is all black. You don't see cables exposed because of the wire management, right?
Seamless quality. And I know that's such a huge thing with metal roofing,
What portion of our electric bill do you suppose will be offset by that solar system?
question.
And that system, I don't think we mentioned it, but it's 52 DC.
It is 52 DC, Rob, and we will get 43 AC. So we are set to offset our entire electrical bill with that installation.
Are we having plans for battery backup?
You better move this thing.
That'll be for another time. We have a lot more coming up in 2024 on our new office. We can't wait to showcase it. Rob is taking us through some of the history that we've went through. We've got a case study. We've got a lot to show on our S5 solar install. So look forward to that in 2024. But we won't talk too much about our own office. Let's move on a little bit. Another huge thing that happened this year, IAPMO. Some people may not be familiar with this, but it's a big thing from the industry. And Rob, I want to pitch this over to you. What is the significance of this new industry standard for testing and certifying snow retention devices? A huge thing for us.
Yeah, to use a technical term, it's a big damn deal. Snow retention is clearly a life and safety kind of issue. Year over year, cars are crushed and roofs are ruined, and people are even killed by snowpack suddenly avalanching off a slippery roof. For hundreds of years, people have mitigated this with snow guards to reduce the hazards. However, snow retention systems were never engineered to resist the forces that were imposed by snowpack.
Logs and rocks didn't quite do the trick. As they did a little.
Well, they did, but it was all by guess and by golly and by hook and crook and so on. There was never really any science or engineering. And so then later on, these stick-on devices came along and they failed within a few years, generally speaking. But the result of all this was that failure rates were rather high, and they still are.
Yeah. So
to avoid failure, snow retention systems have to be properly designed, tested, and engineered to the job specifics that vary with each and every application.
Snow loads vary so much from area to area.
And from roof to roof, depending on the slope of the roof and the length, the rafter length, and so on. There are a number of different variables. And until recently, there was no industry standard or mandate for producing and testing snow retention devices. That market space has been completely unregulated.
Yeah, exactly.
This new IAPMO standard sets the required bar for the acceptability of all these things, and Dustin can tell you more about the implications.
Dustin, jump into us a little bit on this and tell us, elucidate the situation a little bit more with IAPMO.
Yeah, I mean, Rob did a pretty good explanation. Where I would take it is what IAPMO is you basically have two entities. UL dabbles in it a little bit.
Yeah.
You have two entities right now that will write things called acceptance reports. The ICCES, which is the International Code Council, and then you have IAPMO. And IAPMO, I wish I could call off the top of my head what that acronym is.
International Association of Plumbers, and I had it.
Yeah, but I hesitated saying it because it's like plumbers, and everybody's like, what? They're the only two that are well recognized in codifying things.
Yep.
And it generally starts with an acceptance criteria. That can be a painstaking process because not only is it IAPMO and interested parties, once the interested parties all come together with IAPMO, come up with a testing program, a standard, if you will, then that goes and gets thrown to the wolves to chew it up and spit it out. And there has to be harmony that all of those requests, it's, they call it a consensus document because many professionals have looked at it, people within the industry.
Yeah.
It's a necessary evil because it brings more value to that. Yeah. So code building officials, when you have something that has an acceptance criteria and you qualify, your products qualify to pass the testing, etc. Yeah. If there's nothing in the code, then it supersedes the code.
Great. Yeah, for sure.
The next goal is getting it in the code.
Yes.
Right? And that's going to take, more work. And I mean, that's one of the things I kind of pride ourselves on. We do is in industry, we'll work with our competitors.
Yes, yeah.
In saying, hey, there isn't anything out there. Let's come up with something. You know, we've done that very well in the solar space. Snow retention space, we're still working on it.
Yeah.
IATMO was a great start, and it sets the bar.
Yeah.
I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. I don't care that we have competitors. Competitors make you sharpen your edge.
It's a natural part of the industry.
Right.
It's going to be.
As long as the bar is at the same height.
Well, and especially...
And when the bar is doing this,
Yeah,
because
it's everywhere.
everybody's like, it's snow, it's an act of God, you know, like, it allows for a lot of people to compete unfairly.
Yeah.
And this is huge because it's setting the bar. It's a consensus document that, you know, if you're gonna play, you've got to do the testing engineering. Do the testing engineering, God bless you. Like, I will back your play even if you're a competitor.
It's a safety issue. Unlike you know solar is and stuff, that becomes a matter of importance to make sure it stays safe. So you really don't care sometimes whether it's our products or not. You just want to know that the industry has a mind for safety of it. So I mean, as this has been codified now, how does this affect S5 products? Is this something that affects us a whole lot in the way things have changed now?
Well, it hasn't been codified yet.
Okay, sure. Yes.
It is
Sorry.
a consensus.
A consensus, yes.
Actually, it does not affect our products. I mean, because our products, have been tested and engineered in the way, and this is what Dustin said. IAPMO is a really important building and construction agency in this country, right? So for them and for the community to take our engineering methods and our testing methods as something that sets the bar, right? It is a recognition that we are the leaders in the market and we are experts in this industry, right? So Rob, Dustin, and we continue that developing our products under those standards, right? And improving that, every single day, right? So for us, does not change the way that we do. We set the bar to better serve our industry. Because it was like Dustin was saying, if it is like oscillating, you do not have our industry safe.
Exactly. Right, and I mean, the only way it affects us really is all the testing engineering that we do, we then turn over to IAPMO.
Exactly.
IAPMO reviews it, evaluates it to that acceptance criteria, and says yes or no. And then they're gonna run their audits and
of course
and all that stuff. And so that does add an extra step, but in terms of the testing, that's the same kind of testing we've been doing for 30 years.
We've been very thorough with that. Absolutely.
Sorry, that thought left me. I had two of them while Ricardo was talking. It'll come back whenever Rob says something.
right, exactly. Well, I mean, and that's great to hear and stuff. I mean, we've been very thorough with our testing over the years, and the hope is, I think, with this is that beyond it obviously not having much effect on us, is that it raises the bar for the industry. It's a safety issue when it comes down to it, especially with snow. And
and it gives architects, specifiers, it gives them some, they're like, all the plans pretty much read.
Yeah.
Snow retention as prescribed by manufacturer, or what's the other notorious one that architects like to put on there? Snow retention per usual. Typical. This now gives them something that's not arbitrary.
Absolutely. Yes. Something a little bit more concrete. So obviously IATMO is going to have a ripple effect hopefully throughout the industry. With us, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. Now, let's move on. We've obviously, it's a huge thing, but let's talk a little bit. Another big thing that happened in 2023 here is we've added a few more patents to our catalog. Go figure. Rob, I'm going to throw this over to you to start. We've got 21 new patents that we've added this year, bringing our total to 133 patents that we've been awarded since we started our business. What continues to drive us innovating our products?
Really quick.
Yeah.
It's 22. I just
22.
got one yesterday before the end of the year.
Squeezing it in right before the end of the year. All right, I'll correct my notes. Rob, obviously a huge part of our business is a continuous improvement company. What drives us to continue innovating our products?
Well, what drives us to innovating is that we are an innovation company. That's what we do.
Part and parcel.
And we're focused on innovations that make metal roofs better.
Yep.
It's written right in our mission statement, Patrick.
Yes, that's true.
It is to create innovative solutions to attach virtually anything to a metal roof the right way. Mm-hmm. So, and to go on from there, further within our vision statement, there are 5 precepts presented in our vision: innovate, problem solve, improve, educate, and contribute. Mm-hmm. And I think we've done reasonable service to fulfill all 5 of these things. We innovate and constantly improve our processes and inventions. We don't stop with an invention. We're constantly improving on it.
We don't rest on our laurels.
Nope. No. And our innovations are all created to solve real problems on real roofs.
Yes.
We educate the right way within our industry, within our website, and S5 University. We contribute our time, talents, and financial support within our industry and within our local communities and outside industry and community to multiple humanitarian causes. We contribute to charity. And our BHAG, by the way, before I passed the mic, so
by all
to speak,
means, yes.
Our BHAG, everybody knows what a BHAG is, but in case you don't, a BHAG is your big, hairy, audacious goal. And ours is that our innovations will be a driving contributor in making metal the preferred roof type of the global roofing community. So our aspirations are not confined to only the U.S. marketplace. They are global.
We've got our eyes set on, a lot more. I mean, that's been a huge developing part, which look forward to that in 2024 because our expansion continues. But absolutely, I think that has been a huge part of us. I mean, I think that's a real value, and that's something that for a person who's a bit of an outsider to the metal roofing industry has been a huge selling point for our business, is that we just don't just say, this is good enough, that's it. We continue to innovate. And that's a huge thing because I'm not going to call out any other companies, but sometimes they just think that that's it. Good, we're done with it. But how many things? I mean, from solar to snow retention to utilities, the continued innovation to make things better, to give better holding strength, to give more security to people and the things they need to attach, that's a huge thing.
Well, we do a funny thing for a company that sells products. We actually talk to our customers. We actually get on roofs and we listen to their pain points.
Yes.
And we improve things.
Absolutely. And speaking of improving, which this will throw into you guys pretty well, we've got, and you mentioned it earlier, is our new lab. Now that we have our new certified lab here on site, right downstairs from where we are right now, how is this going to help in the development of our new products? Dustin, why don't you kick us off?
Well, I mean, I'd start with it's not only going to help with development of new products, but it's going to help continue certifications for existing products.
Absolutely.
And basically, we're working with Intertech. Mm-hmm. Intertech, we're a satellite lab for Intertech.
Yes.
That means that we are abiding by ISO 17025 laboratory mandates.
Yeah.
So when we do a test, it's not like, hey, we're doing it in our garage and we blew up some tires and we added this pressure this way and Joe had to come along. And, we put a force gauge on with his come along. Like,
very scientific.
Right. No, I mean, everything's ISO 17025.
Absolutely.
And that gives us the ability to continue what we've been doing it, but do it more efficiently, quicker, faster. I mean, if you're a customer of ours and you've sent us panels for testing and we have painstakingly, we're like, our backlog on testing is 2 months, maybe 3. That's going to it shortens that dramatically.
To have it on site, huge boon to us.
Right, and we get customers that say, hey, I'm using this and so module. You don't have it listed with 2703 in your products. You know, we're able to run the mechanical load testing for 2703.
That's great.
So it really helps to expedite those things. When it comes to new products, the minute you get the prototype or the prototype finished, like, Ricardo, go out there and break it.
Hit the ground running. Ricardo, what has it been like for you having this new, I mean, this has got to be a huge advantage.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, having our lab accredited and certified under Intertech, that, I mean, by the way, Intertech is one of the few laboratories in the country that we can call NRTL, that is National Recognized Testing Laboratory.
Yes, yeah.
So it is pretty much saying, hey, we are recognized by the US government, Intertech, and we recognize you S5 as a laboratory. So we are accredited and certified under NRTL. So at the end, like, I mean, all of the things that Dustin said, we have been streamlining the product development process, number one. Number two, we had added value to the industry and our customers, because now we run tests for them, and we issue our testing reports under an accreditation and certification. Right? At the end of the day, when we put all of this together, that thing consolidates S5 as expert and leaders in the market.
Yes.
Right? And we support what we say.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
With, well proven numbers and results.
Yep, we can back up our claims.
Exactly, we back up our claims, right, in this way.
Exactly. I mean, all the testing, engineering, and stuff that we've done, I mean, that's why we can offer, especially in the PV space, a full lifetime warranty.
Yes.
We're one of the few companies in the solar coaster, as many say, that has, outlived their warranty. We've been playing in that space for more than 25 years.
Yeah.
We bumped that warranty to be a full lifetime warranty. We design products. When we design it, the number one prerequisite is it has to last the life of the roof. And then he went out there with ASTM and studying all these roofs and said, well, all these metal roof guys are saying 25, 30 years, but they're calling it short. Now it's 60, 70 years. Right?
Exactly.
So R&D, hey, we're not going to be using any polymers.
Definitely.
And really, I know that we've got, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but I know we've got some great announcements coming for new products from 2024, but we're going to leave that until next year, so hold on to that and stuff, but stay tuned because there's a lot of great stuff. And now, we've had a great conversation, and I don't mean to put this, to end this on a sore spot, but I want to talk about some. Rob, you brought this up at one point, and I do think it's important. Some companies out there, and I'm not going to name names, have rolled out products that feature butyl sealant. And they're very happy about this, and I'm not going to say butyl's bad at all. But they're acting as if this is a new thing. But I don't really think it's quite a new thing. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on companies that are starting to bring up butyl like it's a new thing. But we've been on this wave for a little while.
Dustin handed me a prop. This is true. What you say is true in the solar mounting arena, and it's actually pretty comical. The metal roofing industry has been using butyl polymers for over 5 decades.
It's nothing new.
It's not new. Some of our competitors in the solar space have, in the last year or two, finally caught on to stuff that we've been doing at S5 for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Many competitors now are announcing that they've discovered something new, and they're the first to use these sealants. It's kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
actually. S5 was the first company and has used butyl copolymer tapes and sealants. This one dates back to about 1995.
Yeah.
And we filed patent protection on the reservoir that contains the butyl,
Exactly.
protecting it from
Yeah.
UV rays and the overcompression of the sealant. And we patented that back around 95 or 96. At the same time, we're the first to apply these special polymers in the factory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a guy in the field can't screw it up, and we want to make sure that he's using the right stuff. So we put the right stuff in the part.
It also gives them longevity that's a very well associated with metal roofing to make sure it's going to last for that life of the roof.
Well, that's the
Plug and
other
play.
part is one butyl. One butyl is not the same as the next butyl.
Exactly.
And there's a special mix that they keep highly guarded. But, we put a lot of study into the butyl that we're using here.
Absolutely.
Because, in all honesty, it's the butyl that determines the lifespan of the metal roof, correct?
That is correct. And all butyls are not created equal. Look, there's nothing that governs what you call a butyl. Dumbing it down, you could pee in a boot, add a few drops of butyl, and call it butyl.
Voila.
And like Dustin said, the manufacturers of these sealants won't tell you their secret sauce, but they're not all created equal. Each formulation is proprietary.
Absolutely.
So we have always sticked with the butyl producers, who I have personal experience with for over 50 years. And
Yeah.
I've pulled roofs apart that were 45 years old, and those butyls were still performing.
Yeah, yeah.
I've also pulled roofs apart with butyls that were not performing, but they were still called butyls, and they were still, as long as they've got some butyl rubber in them, you can call it a butyl. But
One of
we're
the
very
pee in the boot
selective.
butyl. No, absolutely, and that's a huge thing. I mean, to make sure that our stuff, it is not an inferior, and I mean that's a huge thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a soup of things. We have, a lot of different products under the same name. I think the point here is that butyl that it is there, it is well tested and proven.
It's been proven for 50 years.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
So those are three firsts related to butyl polymers and their use in these parts for waterproofing. That those are three firsts from S5 on that. The first to use that kind of compound, the first to design a receptacle in the part, and I forget what the third one was, but there were three of them. Oh, to factory apply it.
Yes,
Factory
exactly.
apply it.
Yes, simplifying it.
So others can say what they want to say. It just isn't true. That's all.
exactly.
or not even proven.
That's just it. And
Yeah, and I mean, and it goes with our whole vision and philosophy is we're going to design something that's going to outlast the roof. All right, and we're looking at a 60, 70-year roof system minimum.
Yes.
I mean, there's zinc roofs out there, copper roofs out there that well surpass that.
They'll stand the test of time.
And so that's what makes R&D so much fun, huh, Ricardo?
Yes, definitely it is.
And I mean, maybe that's something for people who are involved in the space should keep an eye out for. Is that just because someone is making a big deal out of it, do your research. Look into it, because it may not be the huge deal that they're making it out to be. Do your research, do your testing, make sure you look into it, because a metal roof is going to stand the test of time for 50 to 70 years, and especially if you're attaching a solar array or anything like that, you're going to want to make sure you're not re-roofing your roof and having to rip off that whole solar assembly before it's time. Make sure it lasts. Get your ROI out of it. So I won't probe anymore on this delicate subject of butyl. I want to thank you guys so much for joining us. I know this is a busy time of the year for everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a great conversation. I love covering some of these huge topics for us. We have a lot of stuff that goes on every year, and it's hard to get it down to just a few points. But I think that these are some of the great ones to cover, and we've got a lot more coming up in 2023. But 2024. I mean, 2023, we still have more coming up, but not as much as 2024.
We got another patent.
We do have another patent, yeah. Slipping under the line.
Around the corner.
While we're still in 2023, let's announce our final $50 gift card winner. You know what? I gotta pass off the duties. Ricardo,
Me.
tell us a little bit about who is winning our second $50 Visa gift card.
The paper says Spyro Car.
Spyro Cow. Hopefully
Yeah.
that's right. Spyro Cow
Spyro
on
Cow.
YouTube. You are winning a $50 gift card. Thank you so much for participating in our giveaway this year. We really love giving back to everybody, for everyone who's helped make everything such a huge part of our year this year. Honestly, we couldn't do it without everybody who is a viewer here on YouTube, who subscribes. Honestly, a huge thanks to everybody who's helped make this such a huge year for us on YouTube. We wouldn't be here without you. And if there's ever anything that we can help address in the industry, any points, any topics, any products that we can help give you more information on, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. Support at s-5.com. Drop us a comment on any of our videos. We're happy to help make metal roofing and the attachments to it a little bit easier for you.
And
Guys,
to add to that, we wouldn't be able to do it without you, Patrick, and your amazing videos, and Anthony behind the scenes over here.
that's another
Yeah,
point that needs to be
it's-
made. Anthony, our video intern, has been a huge part of us for the past year and a half. Huge contributions. You've seen a lot of his work on this channel. Thank you guys so much for supporting us, and thank you, Anthony, for everything you've done for us. And guys, that's really it. I don't have a whole lot else to cover this year. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy schedules to join us. Any parting thoughts? Rob, you want to say anything to our viewers?
Merry Christmas, and God bless you all.
That couldn't be a better way to end our conversation with you guys here. Join us in 2024. We have got so much new content to bring to you. We're looking forward to it. And to all of you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, peace and prosperity to all of you. And that's going to do it. Guys, cheers to everyone.
Cheers.
We'll see you guys in 2024. Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Oh. That was fun.